A few months ago, we discovered that around the closest star to the Earth, there were like planets. And we did an episode. I will put the link here. Today, we are going to talk about a group of people from Exeter that have studied the weather on this planet. This is Monterey, and welcome to your cosmic kingdom. The University of Exeter is where I did my PhD, and I have like very lots of fond memories out of there. It's just an amazing place to be. It's probably the office with the best views I will ever have, because I could see the sea from where I was, like 10 kilometers away. Yesterday I was going through the news, the Spanish news, just normal newspaper, and I found that they were talking about a group of scientists trying to unveil the weather in Proxima b. The Exeter Astro Department is linked to the Met Office. And the Met Office is the weather agency here in the UK. They have an incredibly good model for weather prediction. So they are just trying now to look for weather like with a resolution of 100 meters. So one of the collaboration things between the Met Office and Exeter is just trying to use that UM, the unified model, to try to predict weather in exoplanets. And that is what this paper is about. They just consider the flux, the energy flux coming from the star. Here there is a plot from the paper in which they compare the flux from the sun with the flux in Proxima Centauri. They know the distance at which the planet is orbiting the star, and with that distance they can calculate the amount of energy the atmosphere is receiving. And because they also know how fast they move around the sun, they can predict seasons. And there is one big parameter here, which is the eccentricity of the orbit, that they don't know it yet, but they tried for different values. What they basically find is that the results are compatible with the existence of liquid water in Proxima b, and this is consistent with previous studies. So now we have a strong evidence that probably there is liquid water in Proxima b. And they prove this like with this. I'm just showing you a few plots of the paper. In this case is, they can predict the average temperature on the surface. So this plot here is like if they peeled open the planet and show it to you like that. Just to give you an idea of a scale, so 300 is roughly like a very warm, hot weather here, like 300 is 27 degrees. I'm not using Fahrenheit, guys, sorry, moved to the metric system. And 273 would be 0. So this is like, the poles are really cold, are colder than the Earth poles. But I guess that we could live near the equator. Not only they get that, they also are able to predict the precipitation rate. And here is the map. As you can see, you have a lot of precipitation in the equator. And it is really incredible that they are able to do this. So that's all for today. It seems that in our closest star there is a planet with liquid water, like temperatures that we could survive, and that is incredible. But before I leave, I just want to make a complaint. It's a little complaint, just to say. So when I read this thing on the paper, I looked for the press release in Exeter webpage, and only 3 authors, the 3 big names, calling them like that, appeared in the press release. So I went to the ADS, which is the website that we astronomers use for looking for articles, and typed the 3 names and found that the paper had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 collaborators. Some of them very good friends of mine. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So here, before I leave, here's to acknowledge all the people that worked in this paper. Maybe they did a lot of work. Maybe it's just a few tips, but all of them deserve to be in the press release. And that is my complaint to Exeter. Okay? Apart from that, Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you, and see you guys next week. Bye bye.